bake with the wrong title on the screen. Let me fix this right quick. Listeners, we bake. We big bake. How y'all feeling this week? I got my good brother.
Hey, why would you say big bake? I started laughing.
I got my brother Sydney Blaze in the building since he wanted to be the first to be introduced today. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good.
Good. That's what's up, man. I also got my brother Kendall Washington in the building. How you feeling this week, brother?
Man, I'm feeling good. I got a little funny story to tell y'all, so I shaved my mustache on accident.
Hey, I didn't see that shit, bro.
Real quick. So I'm in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom watching Star, and like I had took the guard off because I was just trimming that shit down. You know what I'm saying? And I took the guard off, not even realizing. So when I laughed, I came down on that motherfucker, and that shit. So now I got the 5 o'clock. So I just shaved all that shit off. So now I look like a Dominican baseball player.
Hey,
but I'm doing all right.
Look
like me and Rome on the team now.
On my side.
All right, dog.
No, that shit funny.
That's funny.
I told him he looked like an Indian porn star, bro.
Yeah.
Like he got no mustache. You look like, I know you freaky. Look,
just call me Kendala.
All right. Listen, I'm done with y'all. I also got my good brother Montre Brown in the building. How you feeling this week, brother?
Blessed, brother. Feeling good, man, like always.
Mm-hmm. As you can see, we kind of unprepared this week. At least I was. I had the wrong title on the screen and everything, but now that that's fixed, yeah, man, we got a lengthy conversation with y'all. We got a lengthy docket today. We're gonna talk about Jerry Jones. We're gonna talk about reparations. We got a little lengthy conversation for y'all, cuz, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna set the mood first. Actually, before I do any of that, because I keep doing this though. I did this last episode too. For listeners not familiar, I'll see the campaign running before the show. Our good brother Nurse Mahdi is going back to Africa. He's going to Kenya this time. That'll be the country he's visiting. He's going to bring a well that'll feed the people over there for about 15 to 20 years. He's gonna take some water and a bunch of other things that they need as well. So if you click the link in the description of this podcast, you'll see it's a donation link to Be Clear to help serve a brother who's doing great things in our community. So if y'all want to go ahead and donate to that campaign, feel free to do so. And Kendall, you have anything to add on that as well?
Yes, I just want to read something from him directly. Quote, "I'm sure times are tough for some of us. They aren't easy under my roof, but our problems seem so minuscule to 2 million children dying from water-related illnesses, or the 2 billion people that don't have access to clean drinking water. I'm calling all you superheroes to help us make the lives of so many by donating what you can and persistently encouraging others to do the same. I wouldn't ask if I didn't need your help, but I do. So let's all find together, brothers and sisters."
Yeah, that's a personal message from my good brother Muhammad as well. So like I said, y'all, man, feel free to click the link and donate whatever you can. Anything helps, and it goes a long way to our good brother's mission.
Hey, no, that's dope, man. Salute to Brother Muhammad, man.
Yeah, straight up.
Absolutely.
Today, how I'm feeling, I think I'm going to set the mood out the gate. Let me play this song by Lil Durk. I clicked the wrong version of the song, as y'all can tell, but I was gonna let it rock anyway. Hey, but first topic we want to get into, man, today is Jerry Jones. For our listeners who are not aware, Jerry Jones has seemed to be finessed.
Jerry Jones got played, man.
Yeah, big play. Oh my God! Let me stop this music. I hit the wrong button. I was trying to open the notes and I just hit the wrong button and played the song again. But Jerry Jones. Blaze, you want to start with this story, bro?
You still playing other
Yeah, music.
I know. I'm about to stop it, but for some reason my phone wants to act like an idiot today. So I think it's like in the position I had it in. So whatever. All right. So for y'all who've been living under the rock, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has paid millions of dollars to a woman who has not filed a paternity test.
She did file paternity.
Oh, she did file a paternity test.
Yeah,
but he was already paying her. He had to pay her almost $3 million, right?
The daughter did. She, Jerry Jones met a lady in.
Go ahead, Blaze.
At the Arkansas airport. I want to say she was a ticket counter agent at the Arkansas airport.
Yeah,
and they had a little fling, and she became pregnant, and although he never admitted to paternity, he paid nearly $3 million over the years, including full tuition at SMU, a $70,000 Range Rover for her 16th birthday. And she got 2 trusts. One of them, she's 25 now. One of them she get when she's 26, and the other one she get when she's 28. But he never admitted, you know what I'm saying, to being her biological father. So the young lady, she filed paternity, saying she want to be acknowledged as his daughter. She wanted his name on her birth certificate.
So Ron, that's what I was gonna bring up, bro. Because I don't even think it's more of a finesse.
Oh no, she finessed. She finessed.
No, I mean, she is, but I feel like he more so I'm gonna pay way less with her doing this than really having a paternity test, and she's my real daughter. I'm gonna come out.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I think that's how he looking at it, bro.
No, that's a fact because it's a like he never had no contact with the chick. Like his lawyers transferred the money back and forth to them. So a couple of years ago, they did dinner with one of the attorneys, and she said she either gonna go for paternity or he got to give her 20 M's. So, she tried to extort him. He wasn't going. So here we go with the story now.
Yeah,
but he done gave her extra money too. Let me see. I think she got for her 16th birthday. She had a $33,000 birthday party, which was shown on some show called Big Rich Texas. You ever heard of that, Ron?
No, I never heard of Big Rich Texas before. It must be a Dallas local show or something.
It's a reality TV show called Big Rich Texas. Then he paid $24,000 for her and her mom to go to Paris for Christmas. She spent the year abroad. That was $25,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he been
cashing out.
Whenever she has, it seems like she get it, but she want the bag. She want the bag.
Right.
That like I said, to me, that seems like a finesse, Trey. I don't know how you feel about that. To me, that's
no. She is finesse, absolutely. Right. I was just saying that.
Hey, look, man. If my daddy Jerry Jones, I want all the perks of being Jerry Jones' daughter. She ain't wrong.
Right. Is Jerry Jones married? Is he married?
I don't know if he's married, but I know he got other kids.
Wow.
So if he not married, he might be divorced. But
this is very reminiscent of Kobe. Remember how everybody was talking about Kobe and sleeping with the what was she
the hotel
lady,
the cleaning lady.
Yeah.
Kobe ain't knock her up though.
No, what I'm saying is that everybody was admonishing him like he should have been.
He violated her.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is everybody was admonishing Kobe like he should have been above having sex with.
Why Kobe violated her butt like that?
Because he didn't want to get her pregnant.
Here we go. Y'all going to the left.
Hey, R.I.P. Kobe.
Trey. My mother listens to this podcast, by the way, sir.
Hey, he right though. She ain't get pregnant like that.
Listen, dog. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Everybody was admonishing. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but
you can't even be real. That's what happened.
Well, what I'm trying to
didn't want to get her pregnant. That's why Blades asked the question. I was just answering the question.
Right.
Another interesting thing. She actually a U.S. Aide to U.S. Rep Ronnie Jackson from Texas. You know who that is, Ron? She a congressional aide.
No, not familiar either.
Yeah, so she seems like she's doing all right in life, but she want to do better.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, why not? Why work harder when you can work smarter? That story was just like wow when I heard it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I said, especially when you said that she was a ticket counter, like the first thing came to my mind is like he shouldn't even be messing with her on that level. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. That's why I was making a point about Kobe because everybody was admonishing him for messing with the. Whatever she was, the hotel, the cleaning lady, whatever she was, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was saying that he should have been above that, but clearly, when it's demon,
this ain't the first time, and this ain't the last time.
It ain't on God. It ain't the first time or the last.
This type of shit that be going on. Like.
Yeah, man. Hey, it is what it is. Man, you got to start making better sexual decisions.
That's a fact.
I listen. I have no idea what part you're on, but I will go to a commercial break in 10 minutes. I'm done over here, dog. This the live chat, dog. It's the live chat. I'm sorry for the listeners who listen on the audio side. Oh man, but Trey, you the one that did this, bro. Don't be responding in there like this. You, you did this, bro. You did this every week, bro.
All I did was answer a question.
Hey, man, I want to get into this.
Hey,
though.
then they blame me too, though. That's what's crazy. Trey starts some shit I get blamed for.
But I did want to get into.
No, he brought up Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
You asked the question. I didn't say anything. I just answered your question.
Bro, listen, man. I'm not dealing with y'all today.
Now I'm the blame.
Yeah, you are definitely the blame. But
all I said was one sentence.
Okay, all right.
A few sentences.
All right, but let's get into this next topic. For our listeners who not aware, AI and Al Harrington launched a cannabis brand in Michigan. Kendall, I will pass the rock to you, brother. I'm about to update this thing on the screen, so if you want to go ahead and fill our listeners in, I'm going to kind of do a deep dive on this too, because it's a lot in this article.
Okay. So according to yahoo.com, as Jerome stated, Allen Iverson and Al Harrington, who are former basketball players, were in Detroit recently to launch their new cannabis strains. Calvin Johnson and also Sada Baby, who's a local rapper in Detroit. And we all know Calvin Johnson was a former Detroit Lions wide receiver, probably the greatest they've had. They were also there to support. As part of the multi-year partnership, Iverson and Viola, I don't know if it's Viola or Viola, might be Viola, I'm assuming that, released limited amounts of their new hybrid strain exclusively in Michigan, where Iverson attended meet and greets with customers and 5 cannabis shops in Metro Detroit region to promote their launch. Iverson said, "I'm excited to continue the partnership with my brother and bring our newest strain to Detroit." Viola founder and CEO Al Harrington also stated, "We're excited to launch Iverson which is the name of the strain, in Michigan market with 70 plus value partners," which is Al Harrington also launched his first shop in Detroit. So it's kind of like a anniversary for him. He launched his in 2015. Iverson 01, which is an indica dominant Detroit grown hybrid, is a cross of F1 Durban, Gushers, and Runts for weed enthusiasts.
That's what stuck out to me.
Which is probably that story that he was giving. But yeah, that was in a different context. But anyway, the pre-rolled and packed flower will be sold at a number of dispensaries across Michigan. In 2014, Harrington also launched Viola Extracts after his grandmother, who had glaucoma. He named it after her. It became the first ever Black-owned multinational cannabis brand. Prior to that, Harrington has also introduced his own cannabis brand. He also supports a variety of causes, including his own initiative, which is Viola Cares, which aims towards formerly imprisoned or incarcerated people transitioning back into society. So he's very into the community as well, outside of his business ventures. So salute to them, and pretty much what they're trying to do. And just good to see Iverson also, because I know he had a little issues after his career. So it's good to see him finding places for him to expand.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's really dope to see minorities, so to speak, actually take advantage of the cannabis market right now, because everybody's trying to get included in this as well. Y'all, I would advise a lot of y'all to go check out Viola brand. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's VIOLA brands.com. Because the dope thing about it to me, what Al Harrington and AI is doing is that they actually have a college where they're teaching minorities how to get into the cannabis industry. I'm trying to find a link for it right now.
I watched what's Matt Barnes and them? All the Smoke. He was on All the Smoke. He was talking about it, man. He been doing real good with that shit, dude. They profits crazy.
That's what's
yeah, it's real good. And I mean, it's hard to get into that.
It's interesting that it's kind of like full circle, because after the Malice in the Palace, I don't think he'd be going to Detroit trying to do anything, but that's dope though.
Yeah, I'm posting this link in the chat right now. It's for Harrington University.
Kendall, did you go ahead? I'm sorry, Ron.
No, I said I'm posting a link in the.
He was just saying he posted it in the chat.
Yeah, it's for Harrington University, or HarringtonInstitution.com is where you can find a link to apply for his higher education, no pun intended, and to actually have career opportunities as well. So I'm gonna post a link into the live chat right now. Y'all can take that and do what thou wilt. But keep going, Trey. You had a question you was asking Kendall.
No, I was saying, Kendall, did you? I was sending out some links. Did you even go over that? It said Viola Extracts became the first ever Black-owned multinational cannabis brand.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say something about that? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But yeah, it's good because it's very hard to get into that industry, especially as far as from a legal perspective.
I might have to check some of these Arizona dispensaries, see if I can find some of that shit. Because that strain sounds ridiculous.
All right.
All right.
So clearly, Blaze, you partake in.
That's definitely two different strains.
And the devil's lettuce.
F1 Durban, Gushers, and Runts.
Yeah, that's out of control.
I fuck with all of them. So.
Hey, listen. Speaking of sounding out of control, I sent this in this article the other day. Man, it was an interview that Allen Iverson did with GQ. I'm about to pull this up. This article is hilarious. I'm gonna read a little bit of this, y'all, because this shit has had me crying laughing. Because here we go. Here it says Allen Iverson's Sky High Life. So, like Allen Iverson has, like it said, like you, Allen Iverson has gotten too high before, and perhaps like you, too. It seems that it happens almost every time he smokes, which he tells me is why he sparks up so infrequently since his rookie season in the NBA. He says he doesn't like talking about his past run-ins with weed, but deep down he seems excited about the chance to confess his sativa-inspired sins. He looks up reluctantly, flings me a blessing, and says, "You want me to tell you a story?" He asks smirkingly. He knows the answer, obviously. Who in the world would pass up a chance to hear Allen Iverson treasure trove of puff parables? I sure wouldn't. We're sitting under a idyllic palm tree on a multi-million-dollar compound in Los Angeles called The Hideaway. The 16-year NBA veteran Al Harrington is is laughing by Iverson's side. Iverson and Harrington have been insparable the last few months. Iverson has a brand new ambassador for Viola, Harrington's cannabis business. They've been busy, they say in that article. Let me see. I'm trying to find a story, y'all, so I can spare y'all. All right. Okay. So this one night in 2014, he was in his old stomping grounds in Virginia Peninsula, hanging out with a man he lovingly describes as Top Motherfucking Smoker. Iverson and Top Motherfucking Smoker head to an old refuge of Iverson's Applebee's to get some grub before a party at an appearance. They light up outside the restaurant. Iverson started buzzing. He said, I'm all right, I'm fine. Firing like a motherfucker, but then I just felt it, dog, Iverson says, grabbing his chest and wobbling like a penguin to demonstrate. Iverson told his homeboys he needed to straighten up, so he decided to walk down the street to find a Corona so I could even out, he says. I started walking up the interstate, my nigga. On the interstate with cars flying, but by just walking down the road to find a bar. He got kicked out the bar. Why? Because Allen Iverson doesn't carry ID in his home state. As he told the bartender that night, I don't have no motherfucking ID. So he walked down the interstate to the Applebee's. Whether or not the Applebee's was stocked with Corona remains a mystery. Then through the door came a guy from the bar telling Iverson he was okay to drink here. Having now walked on the interstate twice, and one night Iverson was irate. Fuck you, man, Iverson says. Go ahead about your business. So apparently, listen, man, Allen Iverson, it was out of control. He walked up and down the interstate trying to find a Corona, y'all. That's how high he got. I don't know.
Was this the Iverson strain?
Listen, bro, I don't know.
It had to be.
It had to be, bro. It had to be the strain that Blaze just described, because I ain't never had an experience like that. And Kendall
that's three different types of weed. So that's all in one. So he definitely was
out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah, and the only time I've ever had an experience that made me do something like this off the weed, dog, was the first time I ever did edibles.
Yeah, them edibles.
Man, I'm scared of edibles, man.
Listen, man, don't ever do them in LA.
I'm gonna start microdosing.
Listen, don't ever do them in LA, man. My homeboy had a bag of cookies, right? And he was like, what strain you want? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I was like, what you got? He was like, oh, I got some sativa. He was like, it's supposed to keep you up and give you energy and whatnot. I'm like, all right, bro. So give me the sativa. And this is why I don't fuck with sativa to this day, bro. I ate that whole entire cookie, dog. I'm thinking it's sweet.
That was your first mistake.
Listen, bro. Listen. The cookie was about the size of a 50-cent piece. It wasn't even a big cookie.
So what? So what?
Right. So anyway, I realize this now, Blake. Thank you, Bill Nye, the science guy. Where the fuck was you in 2016?
Where was your antennas when I needed you?
Right. Where was your antennas when I needed you? So I ate the whole cookie, right? Bro, listen. I'm like, man, this shit weak. Ain't nothing kicked in yet, dog. About an hour and a half later, fam. I'm balled up in the corner, dog. I'm on the phone calling motherfuckers, dog, confessing my sins, all type of shit. Like, listen, dog. I don't know. I don't want no parts of no edibles. I'm 100% good on them.
Man, you gotta tread lightly and be eating whole cookies. Those are always my favorite stories.
When it comes to edibles, don't eat the whole anything.
Listen.
Whatever it is.
Why does everybody keep saying that? Don't eat the whole thing. Listen, I know shouldn't have ate the entire cookie. Hindsight is 2020, motherfuckers. Like, y'all not about to be flaming me in the chat like this. I know I shouldn't have ate the whole cookie. Oh man, but anyway, listen.
Had an experience.
Yes, had a out of body experience, bro. Never doing that again.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah, on God, it's definitely struck me. But since we on the in the same on this topic of cannabis, I think the next topic is yours, Kendall, about the House passing trying to legalize cannabis again. Was it yours?
That was mine.
Oh, my bad. I can take it, bro. I just have been running my mouth, so I didn't want to.
No, you good.
Okay, so y'all can kind of chime in on this. Like, if y'all not aware, this is a article from Politico. The House passes marijuana legalization bill again, but with no clear path forward. So on this article was posted on Friday. The House passed a far-reaching marijuana legalization bill on Friday by a way of 220 to 204 vote, largely along the party lines, and still with no real path to President Biden's desk. It marks the second time in less than 2 years that the House passed legislation to decriminalize cannabis, scrap some old marijuana-related convictions, and allow states to I scrolled up too far, to make their own decision about whether to establish marijuana markets. But the Democrats seem no closer to fulfilling a major campaign promise, passing a party line bill that has little chance to getting necessarily support from to pass this Republican support to pass the Senate. I'm sorry, y'all. So that's pretty much that on that. So still, no, it's not looking sweet for the legalization of marijuana on the federal level. So I guess they still gonna have to just do it state by state as they've been doing it. What are y'all opinions on that?
It's coming, man. It's too much money in it, man. You know it's coming. They want that bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to. Go ahead.
Well, they were saying that a lot of Democrats wasn't supporting the bill because it ain't have like stuff in there as far as decriminalization and shit like that for people who already got marijuana convictions and shit.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know who put that in there, but we definitely need that because it doesn't even. How does it look to have marijuana legal when we got people sitting in prison for it right now?
Right. Well, they probably did that, and we would have to look into that more. But it's probably as a result of having it in the bill and then thinking, okay, if we take this out, maybe they'll pass it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's really the major thing is they don't want to decriminalize it because then they're gonna have to admit fault because they have so many people locked up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Over marijuana. I mean, you was getting locked up for, 20 sacks. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. I mean, I'm not saying you was doing a hard time, but I'm just saying people were still going to jail over small amounts. You know what I'm saying? So I think, it's almost like, damn, we can't arrest minorities no more for weed. Like I don't know about this.
Yeah.
so I mean, it's like a national pastime, like baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, is it really that bad though?
It's really
the same people, the same ones putting them in jail. You're funding your son's meth addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I mean, the people.
Majority of.
I would say today, Booker refusing to hold a hearing on cannabis banking bill with the House has approved 6 times because it does not address criminal justice reform.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't see why. I mean, that's an important part though. If they gonna do it, they should be in there.
But I mean, and to me, and I'm not coming at Booker because he clearly knows way more than I do. But I would think like at this point, just pass it any way that you can, and then come back and move for decriminalization. Don't just stop it just because it doesn't have what you want in there.
Right.
You can always come back and fight for more after the fact. So that's just my thing on it. But again, it could be deeper than what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt it. But to me, I would think, get it passed so that we can at least move forward and then move towards decriminalization. Don't just have it federally, where it's legal now. I mean, I think it would just eventually become that point where it's like, we still over here arresting people and it's fun. It's legal now. You know what I mean? I think it would get to that, at least to that point, hopefully. And then you could push for decriminalization because, I mean, they would have did it a long time ago if they wanted to. And I mean, you have Joe Biden, who was, one of the main culprits of the
94 crime bill,
the drug bill or whatever the hell that BS was.
Right.
So I mean, the crime bill, excuse me.
Yeah,
so I would,
crime bill.
To me, that I would think that would, he ain't gonna pass it, or he ain't gonna be the one to sign off on that. It's gonna have to be somebody else probably down the line anyway. But I could be wrong. Maybe he'll change. But that's just my thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's a political thing too, though, because like some of these people in their districts, they can't be seen to support marijuana because some of their districts moderate, some of them might be conservative. They can't go back and vote for that shit and then be, it might hurt them politically.
But yeah, I mean that's true too. Yeah, I mean it's definitely gonna be that involved, and people don't want to make that legal, and they think this is the quote gateway drug. When I'm assuming alcohol and cigarettes are probably astronomically worse, but whatever.
Right.
So it's just a lot of ignorance based on it, and we just have. That's why I think we should hurry up and make it legalize it, because it's just at the point now where we're basically outlawing it based on ignorance, and it's just at the point now where we need to kind of get past that. That's just me.
Right. One thing I'm discovering, especially since our platform is growing. It's crazy to me that so many people, because to Blaze's point when he said that some districts are moderate or whatnot, that people can't like critically think or can't think outside their political identity. You know what I mean? Right. Like the moment you bring up something that they disagree with, they almost attack you like, oh, he's a liberal person, or this, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of crazy to me, because it's like, fam, we talk about this all the time. A lot of my views are conservative. You know what I mean? And because I'm a minority, people think, or if I'm being critical about a conservative policy, they think that I'm more liberal leaning. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy, man. Like I don't understand people. Like, you either got to be hot or cold when it comes to politics. Like, how can I take some of these positive things that the Democrats are doing or that the liberals are doing and apply them to my conservative ideology? You know what I mean? Because at this point, it absolutely makes no sense for marijuana to be criminal.
Right. And
absolutely not.
I think one of my homies, he was telling me there was like a 5% drop or something in the military as a result of people getting hit with, because they were smoking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be another thing too that might push for legalization, because I would think plenty of veterans smoke weed. I mean,
not even.
I mean,
veterans. It's 100% veterans, but the active duty people too. Because think about it, weed is legal in Colorado.
Right.
Colorado got one of the largest army posts. You know what I'm saying? United States. You know what I'm saying? And they have a huge problem up there with active duty members using marijuana.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And 5% is a large amount just for that for that small amount of time, especially in that context. So I would think, to me, again, it's just a level of ignorance. I mean, they be high off cocaine. I'm pretty sure people be on all types of missions and all types of shit high. It's
or prescription drugs.
Hold on. Before y'all chime in, let me make one more point about Colorado before y'all chime in. Then I'll let y'all go ahead and do this thing. But because one of my homeboys, I can't say his name right now, but he was a non-commissioned officer in the active duty non-commissioned officer up there in Colorado, and he was telling me that they was piss testing every week in like 2016. I can only imagine how much that cost the military.
Yeah, exactly. It's a waste of money. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, like I said, it's just very ass backwards, and it's ignorant at this point. Like you have tests and things and all types of stuff attributed to insomnia and AIDS patients, cancer, people with epilepsy. They're using this stuff for all types of things, and then you're still at the point where you're putting people in jail over this stuff. Or it's just, I can understand a certain level of addiction and people need rehab and stuff like that for certain, but this isn't like heroin. I mean, y'all, it's just, we got to get past that point. But you're right though. I just had a conversation with a veteran, and he's a coworker of mine. He's older guy, probably in his 50s, early 50s. And he said the same thing. He was like, my only thing with marijuana, it's a gateway drug. And I'm like, I said, man, come on. I said, you've been around long enough. I said, you know about the prohibition. You
That's
know about,
that's
you
that's
know
what
about.
that's what the war on drugs did to people, man. It
Right.
warped
It
their sense of view
woke
on it.
people's minds, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I brought it up to him. I said, well, you know about the prohibition. You knew about illegal alcohol because you knew they won't have to make this legal. Otherwise, we're gonna keep making moonshine and other crazy ass alcohol, and we're gonna be fucking people up. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? Let's go ahead and legalize this thing and tax it because we know we can't control this shit. You know, Al Capone was a damn near a billionaire. I mean, if you look in today's society with money, I mean, he was making so much money off of that stuff, man. It's crazy. So yeah, you gotta. It's time to get past that level of ignorance.
But that's what I've said it on here before, Kendall. If you come to Nebraska, they treat marijuana like it's cocaine. I'm not even playing with you. I'm talking about while you on the highway, all you see is signs. Don't bring marijuana into this state from Colorado, dog. Yeah. Bro, and this is a serious meth and pill and cocaine problem here.
Yep.
But the way they treat, the way they look at marijuana, like it is the worst. I'm telling you, dude. Like if you get pulled over with some marijuana and some meth, they gonna treat you differently. I'm telling you, bro. Like,
how do you?
It's crazy.
What does it look like in terms of like heroin and all that? Like, are there billboards and stuff for that? Like,
no, you don't see any.
See, that's what I'm
all
saying,
you see
man.
Is weed, bro. That's all because we borderline with Colorado. So like all you see on the highway, it's insane.
But then you got some states that's going in the complete opposite direction. Like, what state was that? They said that legalized every drug. Where was that?
That's Oregon.
Yeah, like
I forgot all about
Oregon. So you got that on one hand, and then
you
got motherfuckers still like, oh no, weed is this bad.
Exactly. Right. You forget the gateway. You got hard drugs that people can legally smoke and whatever. Like that's what I'm saying. It's the level of ignorance is just crazy. Like that's not you going the extreme route now. Like, come on. So I don't know, man. It's just sad.
Yeah. And we know who a lot of these drug laws like to affect, like everything.
There you go. That's why I said it's sad because that's really what it's about. It's about being able to arrest minorities because you know a minority smoking some weed. That's just gonna happen.
And we just and kind of keeping in the same vein of cannabis. We just talked about last week about was it Canton, Illinois, doing and their reparations, and the way they plan to fund their reparations is by cannabis, the sale of taxing legalized weed. That's the way they plan to fund their thing, and they're only doing they've raised they have $10 million to give for reparations. So that's what
that's an innovative use of funds. I mean,
right. It is, but like I said, the last episode, I don't think that's what they proposing is actual reparations.
No, it's absolutely not.
Right.
But, you know,
right. Yeah. You're right. It's appropriate use of phone. But since we're on that topic, let's transition to our next one, which is California. Their plan for reparations. Kendall, is that one yours?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
By calmatters.org, which is a California-based website, keeps people informed on political matters and other things. On Tuesday of this week, California's reparations task force voted that only Black Californians who can prove a direct lineage to enslaved ancestors will be eligible for the statewide initiative to address the harms of enduring legacy of racism or slavery and racism. Eligibility is, quote, determined by an individual being an African-American descendant of a shadow enslaved person or the descendant of a free Black person living in the U.S. prior to the end of the 19th century, unquote. Other Black Californians, such as Black immigrants, they are not eligible at this time. This started in July of last year. California's first in the nation task force began the study of reparations, kicking off a 2-year process of the consequences of slavery and systematic racism against African Americans in the state of California, and to develop a plan on what the reparations look like. So the committee consists of 9 prominent lawyers, academics, politicians, religious, and civil rights leaders. So it's not just a collection of people coming together. These are prominent people in the communities and also people who have been involved in politics in some shape or form. Many of who also are descendants of slaves themselves. So definitely experts, I would say. Yeah. They plan to. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering how exactly do you trace your lineage back like that?
Yeah.
Like what's the steps of that?
Yeah, so they didn't really necessarily talk about the steps on how to yet because they're still trying to get the proposal first. So that's actually what I'm about to bring up too. So they plan to release the reparations proposal in June of 2023, with recommendations for the legislature. That's why they had a 2-year plan to get this done. So they started, like I said, last year. Many task force members said they expect cash payments to be one part of the proposal, as well as a formal apology. Eligibility determination will help economists tasked with quantifying the amount of reparations owed. So they're not just going to be just coming up with numbers themselves. They're going to work with economists and people that are in lieu of or in agreement to an extent of what they're trying to do in their cause. Lisa Holder, who is a civil rights activist, though, in LA, she argued that against the strict lineage approach, saying that, quote, we must make sure we include present day and future harms. She said the system that folks are advocating for here, where we splice things up, where only a small slice benefits, will not abate the harms of racism, unquote. And also a clinical psychologist at Loyola, and she's also a committee member. Her name is Cheryl Grills. She agreed with Holder, stating that the approach would be divisive and, quote, another win for white supremacy. Although I can understand some of where they're coming from with that, the committee consists of people that are in like their late 30s all the way up into their 80s. Mm-hmm. So I would think that some of those people feel like, okay, that's understandable, but we need to take care of, like you said, we need to go piece by piece with this, because clearly trying to go the whole shebang is not going to necessarily achieve things. That's just what I took from that, but I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. They did speak with 10 genealogists who agreed about why the lineage-based model is significant and how individuals might go about establishing their relationship with enslaved ancestors. So they kind of look at it as a way of being able to understand your history and learn who you are, while at the same time, some sort of benefit from this. But there are others within the genealogist community that they spoke with, like Gentry, who cautioned, even though he agreed with it, he cautions that this process will be time consuming and costly, and suggests enlisting in public, state, and private libraries for assistance. So not to your point, Blaze, they want to involve libraries, other public communities, and state, so that they can try to get funding for these types of things instead of necessarily, looking for, I don't know how they were going to acquire that funding, but that's pretty much what they're trying to do to make sure that people have the resources they need to trace their lineage, instead of just trying to, do it on their own. I myself and my family, we have been doing ancestry for a long period of time, but there are other ancestral websites that you can use, some that are actually Black owned and also focused towards African ancestry, which is also one. I think there's 23andMe and some others that, you can trace it yourself, but also, utilize resources too. The task force's kickoff came a year after the killing of George Floyd, which sparked the summer, of all the uprisings and the brutality and racism, the protests, which pretty much invigorated these people in California to come up with this proposal. This, to me, sounds very familiar with the recent story that we heard about with Jamaica, wanting their independence. They're pushing for that now after the Queen, or what is it, the Prince and whatever they are. Let me not say whatever they are, but yes, the Prince and the Duchess.
They wanted them out of the Jamaica. They wanted them to get up out of there because they were saying their presence was harmful. They declaring independence from the UK basically. But go ahead, you good?
Okay. It was, I personally believe that, not personally believe, but this is pretty much what they said in terms of the Jamaicans, the protests and not letting things pretty much slip by is what invigorated the Jamaican people as well. So, to those who say, we got to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and, as if we don't already. But, this is why we protest or bring call to arms or speak out about things like this, because not only pushes for us to do our thing, but it also, as you can see, invigorates the people around us. So it's always good to just, speak out when you see some BS. Sorry. So let me see, where was I at? Oh yeah. Today's decision also will mean that a fraction of the state's 2.6 million Black residents, who make up 6.5% of the population in California, will benefit from the reparations, while people that are the minority in the state, they're overrepresented in the state system, with Black men making up 28.5% of the state's prison population and nearly 40% of the state's unhoused population. So even though it's a small amount, this is exactly why they're trying to push for this, so that we don't have such a high population of black men locked up, black men and women. So.
Yeah, Kendall. Before we continue on this hot topic of California,
I'm
no, because I got a lot more to add to it, and we're gonna discuss this real quick. But you gotta catch our listeners up because you did spend a lot of time on screen talking, and everybody's talking about what the hell happened to your mustache. So can you please catch them up? I know you mentioned it at the beginning, but can you please catch them up on what's going on with your mustache so they can stop asking?
You're on mute.
Oh, he's muted. I didn't even realize he was talking.
My bad. So I was listening to a podcast. No, not a podcast, but basically a show on YouTube. I guess it's considered a podcast. But anyway, I had my guard. I was trimming my mustache down, and I took my guard off, and I wasn't paying attention. And I took the guard off, so when I was laughing, I came down on it too hard and just pretty much took off everything like right around here. I was like, well, I might as well just cut the shit off. I ain't gonna walk around with. I could have said I had alopecia, which I do.
Right.
I'm serious. I really do have it, but it's usually down here. So I could have just lied and said I had alopecia and a problem with my mustache, but I know I don't really care. So there's the truth.
No, listen, man. Listen, I'm so glad we weren't doing this show about 4 years ago because me and Montre was on the phone. I didn't want to answer the phone, but I don't like to be rude to people, right? So me and Montre was talking on the phone. I was doing the exact same thing. I'm edging my mustache up, dog, and I cut my entire bro. But I wasn't cutting my mustache all the way off, so I cut it real thin, dog. I came out for dinner, dog. Everybody was looking at me crazy, like, "What the hell did you do to your face?"
I was thinking about pulling a Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
and
rocking the
Hitler. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then for next week on my meetings, on my calls, I was gonna throw some of my white coworkers for a loop. But I was like, let me chill out.
Hey, whatever Trey said on that phone was funny as hell too when I did that. I definitely cut off my mustache.
He was mad.
I was mad as fuck too.
He was so mad.
Yeah. But anyway.
Look what you made me do.
He was angry. Yeah.
All right, dog. Listen, okay. So back to reparations. Since y'all so damn nosy, listeners, y'all supposed to be listening to the information we talking about. Y'all worried about Kendall mustache. But anyway,
y'all see, I look like I said earlier, I look like a Dominican baseball player. Y'all wasn't on.
No. A triple A just got drafted fresh out of college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just said.
So Keith asked earlier, Kendall. He said, "And we all descendants of slaves."
Well, to an extent, I would say, but like I said, I think they're trying to push for people to trace it though, like to get involved in it first before you just assume, because some may not be, some might be, or maybe OGs of this country. You never really know. But they're mostly talking about Keith. They're mostly talking about immigrants. So they're trying to basically say black immigrants that come here.
Right.
They're focusing on people who were actual descendants of the slaves who were here in America. So they're not trying to really divide it up or anything like that. They're just trying to put emphasis on people who were wronged from the beginning when they came into this country.
Do you think they initially start moving reparations out to?
Yeah, I mentioned because Africans were affected, right? I mean, I don't necessarily say, I don't know if America would maybe pay for that, but talk about what Africa lost. I mean, they lost millions of people, right? They lost their way of life to an extent because they lost their people, that were in their country to an extent. There were some of the people that sold the slaves and all of that, but they didn't understand chattel slavery. They didn't know what was going on with that situation, but they talked about it in another part of the article. They used to actually have posts where people would stand posts to make sure that the slave raiders wouldn't come and take their people. So there was definitely a scene that was.
I'm glad you made that point because that's definitely what I want to talk about because I like to hear. I'm sorry, Trey, and I'll let you continue, but that was part I'd like to talk about because a lot of people say, well, it was Africans that sold their people into slavery, but what about the Africans that were trying to protect the people from slave, from slave bounties and stuff? People who actually go out there and kidnap people and drag them into slavery. So so that negates your argument right there, racist ass motherfucker. But keep going, though, Trey.
Hilarious.
No, and that's kind of where I'm going. Because like Kendall said, he said, I don't know if America gonna pay for it, but what happened in Africa, slaves coming over to America, and then you have us now, African Americans, we were affected.
Right.
We still you get what I'm saying? We still were affected though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Even if you weren't a direct descendant, You still, you know what I mean? We just see it now. We see it's 2022 and we still see it.
But in the article, just
You know
just to clarify too, because they do say free Africans and enslaved Africans who were living in being able to trace your lineage back to free Africans or enslaved Africans who lived in this country before the 1900s. So they did specify free as well, because the effects, and that's what I think is dope about this proposed reparations. Because they talk about the long term effects, like the Jim Crow era,
there you go,
the sharecropping area, the Reconstruction. They talk about Reconstruction, Jim Crow. They talk about the housing, everything that's been done to us historically, like redlining, the unfair housing practices and everything. They talk about all this stuff, and that's what they said they're going to. That's why they have a committee to discuss all this and see exactly what is owed and how they're going to approach it, because this is at a state level. And then another thing as well is, like I said, this isn't, and this is what I brought up last week when I was saying, hey, we got to be very, very careful, because this could be a slippery slope about, because we talked about Canton, Illinois, and they were only giving people $40,000 vouchers for housing. You know what I mean, specifically. And I don't know if they have a committee doing this, or if there's just something, but like I said, it's a slippery slope, because we don't want them to just say, hey, we gave you $40,000 and that's all we're doing for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But these are, so the very specifics about California's proposed reparations is, they're not following a federal model. They're doing a state's model. So, because if they were to follow the federal model, and this is, and Lamar, you in the chat, so I'm just gonna shout you out right quick. This is what my argument was with you last week. The federal model is, a cash amount, and California is saying that if they were to give everybody who was eligible for reparations a cash amount, it would be greater than $300,000, which would equal to about $670 billion, money that California don't have. I think the state's budget is only like $10 billion. Y'all can fact check me on that, but just to give y'all an idea, a debt is owed and it needs to be paid. So, and we don't, and like I said,
that was the figure that they estimated, 300,000.
Yeah, 300,000 per person for eligible people. So, but you think about it, like I got 2 kids, family of 4, so each person in my family get $300,000.
Oh, each
it's each person affected. Each person affected. So black, if you can trace your lineage back to somebody in this country before the 1900s. So like I said, it's not like you just gonna get your family just gonna get 300.
Oh, household,
yes, each person. So
that's
the federal model, and California ain't following.
So
that.
because the funds not available was.
They're gonna have to find somewhere. They're gonna have to find somewhere to get it from, and they still haven't figured out the payouts yet. So that's so hopefully they can figure out something that's reasonable. Because like I said,
you're talking about this proposal, right?
Yeah, the California.
I know you was going back and forth to Illinois, so I just wanted to make sure of that. But that's why they have until 2023, Blaze. That's exactly why they're trying to move towards it. Because like you said, we this country has wasted billions of dollars on shit that didn't even matter. I'll give an example. The Mike.com in 2014, this article came out. The U.S. has spent nearly $400 billion on a jet, much more than anticipated thanks to breakdowns and cost overturns. The price tag has gone up to $7.4 billion since the last year. That money could be used to buy 664,000 house for every one of approximately 600,000 Americans who live on the streets. So like we definitely have the currency to get things done. It's just about what your emphasis is on who's important and who isn't. So it's just like stop wasting resources and you can use it for other things and to build the infrastructure for your country. You're not just giving money to the blacks. It's building infrastructure so that your country is better. We definitely need it, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all got some streets where they got plenty of potholes, right? Mm-hmm. There's plenty of places that can use some funding for kids in the inner cities or whatever, so they can have some shit to do instead of standing in the house with their irritating parents all day, listening to their problems. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like there's a lot of different things that can really help these kids and forward, and also the people that were affected, such as the proposal that we got going on right here in California. So salute to those people that's really pushing to get find resolution.
And that's always been my argument about about reparations, because people act this is how you talking to a racist person, because they act like blacks aren't American. Like if we get this money, it's going right back into the economy. What are y'all even talking about?
Right. And But it's also because they don't know their history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they knew that, and Black people as well, if you know that you built the country or your ancestors built this country, literally bricks, like built buildings, and some of them used to actually put their fingers in the bricks after in the clay, just so that they would use it as like signatures to showcase that they were there. And they still have this shit in different places all across the country, because that was really the only way that they could use a signature. Like, if you understood that and knew what your family did, if you knew your great-grandfather, your grandfather, or this person was a sharecropper and moved up to this place to have a better life for your family or whatever, like, all of those things are affected, to Jerome's point, from Jim Crow on down. We're not just talking about, okay, we freed the slaves and it's all good now. Yeah, you might have freed some slaves, but they still couldn't get no jobs. So most of them was going right back to sharecropping. They weren't necessarily going to be able to get loans to start their own businesses because banks were racist. You had literal places like Aetna Insurance, I think DIY, and some others that literally funded slave masters because they lost their slaves as a result, and didn't give any type of money to African Americans. So it's not about we're just trying to get money. Like, that's not the case. The issue is the wrongs that you've done to people, and then it showcases as a result, such as the Native Americans. You gave them reservations and a couple casinos, and then said, good luck. Like, that's not the way you revamp things or help the country, who are the OGs of this country, so to speak, the originals who actually lived here. And it's about 6 million of them left, and they number one in alcoholism. So
I'm so glad you brought up natives, because I just put up this article from pbs.org. It was written in 2011, August 24th, 2011. And for many of y'all who don't know, Mount Rushmore belonged to Native Americans. Mount Rushmore was Mount Rushmore was they called it like the four. Let me see what they called it, because they might be in this article. I don't want to misquote it, but anyway, they called it like the four uncles or some four grandfathers or something like that. This was before the president's faces were carved into it. That land belonged to Native Americans. It was protected by the United States government. The United States government, in order to get that land back, or I don't know if it was a government, but it was somebody white, right? What they did was they started
it was called the Six Grandfathers.
The Six Grandfathers. Thank you. I'm glad you did that for me. Appreciate that, Blaze. The Six Grandfathers. So what they did was, to get that land so they can carve the faces into the mountain, was they started having bounties sent out for bounty hunters to kill Native Americans, right? Mm-hmm. So in 2000, this is the articles from 2011. I'm just going to read a little bit of it for y'all, right? Pine Ridge Reservation stretches across some of the poorest countries in the United States, plagued by unemployment rate above 80%, arid land, few prospects for industry, abysmal health statistics, and life expectancy rates rivaling those of Haiti. It's no wonder outsiders ask, why do the 9 tribes constituting the Great Sioux Nation, including those of Pine Ridge, staunchly refuse to accept $1.3 billion from the federal government? That $1.3 billion from the federal government was a settlement that the United States is giving them. It is sitting in the national treasury to this day, because the Lakota Sioux refuse to take it, because they don't want the money. They want the fucking land. They want the land at what Mount Rushmore sits on. So they have that much wherewithal. They saying, give it the fuck back. Right? And this is in 2011. That's what this article is for. It's on pbs.org. It's called Why the Lakota Sioux Are Refusing $1.3 billion. So when we like to sit up here and say that, it's sitting in the Federal Reserve right now. So when we like to sit up here and say that America can't afford it, they 100% can.
Mm-hmm. They're not that poor. Exactly. It's just the level of disrespect.
They came up with some money for Ukraine real quick. They can find it.
Mm-hmm. And other countries in there and so forth and so on, for hurricanes and things like that. But it's 5 million natives left. So, hopefully they gonna exterminate them like they did most of their tribes. So that.
And look, here, this is what the article says. Tribal leaders are quick to point out that not only does $1.3 billion represent a fraction compared to the monetary value of gold, minerals, and timbers extracted from Mount Rushmore, it's based on the value and time of the treaty, not the present. And further, if distributed on a per capita basis across 9 tribes, the money would soon be gone with little permanent benefit to its recipients. So do y'all see? Like they are together in this, right? Like unlike African Americans. So we have to, like I said, this is why I'm critical about these things that we deem as handouts coming to our people, because we need to understand, like I said, the value of these things. You know what I'm saying? We built this, and we know the debt is way more than $300,000 per person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they going off a federal plan. So I just want to point that out, man. But yes.
Each family is owed at least $1 million, but we know that. But like you said, that's probably, I mean, not each family, but each person in their family.
Right.
I mean, it should be about that much, but you're not going to necessarily get all of that. But the acknowledgement is what's important so that you can move forward with other things after that. That's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if any of y'all had anything else to add to the argument about reparations or to the thought line and that. But yeah, I just had to get that out there.
No, sir.
Okay. Well, for our last and final topic, I just really want to just talk about this Will Smith. It's just on a lighter note, bring some levity to the conversation. Because the only reason I want to bring it up again is because after our last episode, I realized that like the world is like really lighting into Will Smith and Will and Jada, right? And it's crazy to me a little bit because I guess a lot of people seeing the red table talks and things of that nature, right? But I think everybody has really forgot how we got here. How did we get to the point where the Smith and Pinkett family, the Pinkett family's private business is out there, right? The reason they even had to come to the red table talk and discuss it was because of one fucking person, August Alsina. So for all y'all who not
said Jada Pinkett.
No, it was because of August Alsina. I mean, we can start with Jada Pinkett, but it was all because of August Alsina. Like, remember he did the Instagram post for our birthday, and so that kind of like raised a little, some ears and some antennas for some people. And then the second thing was when he made the song, with her nickname, exposing all their dirt, spilling the tea, as Kendall liked to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Running his mouth.
Yeah, we had a whole podcast episode about that. I forgot. It was like 2 years ago when we talked about that on this show.
No, all he did was make them richer, and he's still irrelevant.
Right, right. It's still irrelevant. Like, exactly. That's what he said.
Because they gave his ass an NDA after that. Like, shut your mouth.
Yeah, right. So I just want to bring that up how we got here because August Alsina spilled all the tea. So clearly, by the time they got to the red table, the Smith Pinkett family had discussed this privately and handled it privately and had already started their healing process behind it. You know what I'm saying? And but everybody is sitting up here blaming them like they just was the ones who chose to put all their business out on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? They handled it privately and then it got publicly exposed. So that's how we got here. And people like to forget that we dealing with human beings. I'm not justifying Will smack, but I definitely felt him in the smack. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not justifying it at all because he was wrong.
And I had an emotional moment.
Right, he had an emotional moment. So like I said, we dealing with human beings. So I just wanted to point that out because we've been there. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all any of y'all ever smacked somebody over y'all woman?
Oh, not over that woman.
No. Not over that.
I haven't had to literally slap nobody, but I've definitely been in situations where I had to defend her.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of, yes, he had a lapse, but again, like Will Smith, you've been around for a very long time. You are the radar. So like, I mean, I understand that he was angry and that he did all, to defend his wife, but like, you could have, should have probably taken that a little bit backstage, because now he's probably ruined. Like it's probably over for him. Yes, black people are gonna ride for him. Black people are gonna. Black people are going to ride for him.
Netflix already canceled him.
They already Netflix contract. And maybe it's going to last for a little while, and then
this shit happen every time somebody do some dumb shit. They get canceled for a minute, and then like next year all that shit he got because he doing production. He got a production company. He got other shit online. So
I'm not denying none of that. What I'm saying is he thinks that Oscar shit is very important, right? Which is why he was there. The Oscars is.
Oh no, he wanted that.
And the Oscars is the epitome of what they do, right? Actors, regardless of how they feel about it, the Oscars so white and all of that, they still be showing up, right? So to him, this is the top of the top. And for him to give his award away, or for him to resign, he didn't give his award away yet, but we know he probably didn't want to resign, but they probably were like, please resign so we don't have to kick you out. Mm-hmm. And now this other thing with this, he's probably going to give his award back. I don't know. I'm not necessarily judging the dude. I'm just saying, what you was getting into, bro, when you did what you did.
Right.
Because the reality is, you smacked the dude, turned around, and walked off. In any other situation, nobody's turning around off of a black man after you slap him. No. But he knew Chris Rock was going to stay in mode because he had a job to do. So that's all I'm saying. He just the way he did it could have been handled differently. And then he tried to go back up there, started channeling Richard Williams and all of that. Like, bro, nah, just own this. Say you sorry, do whatever you got to do, and then you good. But I just felt like he ruined his career to that level. Not saying he's done acting or none of that, but I'm just saying like now his legacy is going to be tainted and all this over that slap, which really wasn't called for in the beginning. I know, I feel him. You defend your wife and however you feel, and she has alopecia, all of that. You want it. I have no issue with none of that. The defending isn't the problem. The way you defend it. If you would have just did keep your wife's name out your fucking mouth, or keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, that would have been enough right there. He would have been looking around. Was he for real?
Yeah, and
Kendall strong armed him in the backstage.
Yeah, Kendall.
The way he did it, he ain't gonna.
Nah, that shit was corny as fuck. That shit was mad corny, bro.
Yeah, it was definitely corny. I 100% feel you. But let me ask y'all a question though, because it's kind of on topic but off topic. Why do we as black men have to toe the fucking line and damn near be perfect in every sense of the fucking word in order to gain and garner respect in this fucking country? Just explain that to me, please. Because
you're at the Oscars, okay? So clearly that level of acceptance matters to you, which is why you got to tread lightly. If you care so much about that stuff, which he did, right? Because he first laughed at it, and then he peered over like, all right, she's not laughing. Let me get up and go make a decision. So all of that happened within 3 to 5 seconds. That's all I'm saying. I'm not coming at him for how he did it, but you want that level of acceptance to an extent, which is why you ran up there and you apologized to the Academy. He didn't even apologize to Chris because he still felt like
I feel like he was. I think he felt like he was emotional. He wasn't himself in that moment because I think if he'd have been himself, he would have 100% apologized to Chris. I feel like he would have. But go ahead though.
And that's all I mean. He just did it wrong. I'm not knocking the defending of the wife. That was a little, that wasn't for the moment. It's just that's what Chris Rock does. He's been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Which is why he's always getting asked to come up there, because they love to embarrass actors to an extent to showcase they don't take themselves that serious. But clearly Will did after he saw his wife and the way she felt. So that's all I'm saying. I don't have nothing against him, and I'm still going to go watch his movie or whatever because I don't care about the Oscars. Yeah. But that's just me. But they care about that stuff. That's why even Denzel had to get up and holler at him like, bruh, the devil and whatever but he said some other shit before that. That was just for the people. But he said some other stuff like, bruh, come on, man. This wasn't the night to do this. We got Will Packer. He's we got an all black production team. You got Shaq.
I don't think it was embarrassing for black people. I think it was embarrassing for Will. Fuck Will.
No, of course. I don't believe none of that.
They ain't got nothing to do with us.
I agree with all of that. I agree. I don't care if just because a black man or a black woman does some crazy shit, it doesn't speak for everybody. And that's the one thing that black people got to get rid of. Stop trying to feel like you got to defend yourself when somebody else does something that ain't got nothing to do with you, unless it's your wife or somebody that reflects you or your husband or whatever. But that shouldn't have nothing to do with you. Just because Will did something, that doesn't take the black community back 30 years. I'm just saying for him and his legacy, I mean, I hope Jaden and Willow can continue their careers. That question is always gonna get asked whenever they come up.
The only reason, and this is why I went off on my tirade last week when I was talking about the media and how they got more smoke for, the Will Smith than they did with the January 6th outrage. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like, because listen, and the day after the podcast, I walk into work and the first thing I hear somebody say was, man, I really had a lot of respect for Will Smith, and he saw, first of all, it was a Hispanic dude. It was a Hispanic dude talking to a Jamaican woman who they share a lot of white ideology. They used to one of them used to listen to my show. That she don't fuck with it no more because she see where we was going with it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, make a long story short, she was they were sitting up there talking, and he was like, I'm just really upset about Will Smith and the way he handled himself, and he was a role model for these kids and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, fam, like, see, this is the problem. Like man, like y'all holding this actor with more reverence and regard than political figures. Y'all was all pro. This same motherfucker that's pro Trump, and y'all sitting up here like, and I'm just sitting up here like, really, like, this is fucking Will Smith. This man, like, I know what it is, Trey. I'm just saying, like,
and we hold actors and actresses in higher regard than we do our political figures.
Absolutely.
That's what's wrong with this country. That's the exact reason why Donald Trump was able to become president. Because beforehand, he was just some famous dude. He was a businessman. He was this, he was that, and we revere. Remember the Rock was possibly about to run.
Oprah.
Kanye was gonna run. Oprah was gonna run. Like, these people ain't got. Ronald Reagan was an actor who later got into politics. He became president. So it's a problem. It's an American problem. We put too much emphasis in these actors and these actresses, or these are our heroes, or this is my kids. You know, he looked up to him. Okay, he looked up to him or her, but okay, that was a person, and shit happened.
But even outside of that, probably one of the greatest presidents, I would use greatest loosely, but one of the status when it comes to a moral barometer and the way they carried themselves with dignity and everything was Barack Obama. He carried himself with a hell of a lot of dignity, right? And people still shitted on him. So to an extent, as we like to say, you know, we held these people in high regard. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like bro, that's my opposite side of the argument, because they still shitted on him, and we know why. We literally had people who were Democrats at the time flip. Like I'll talk about the senator in Louisiana. He flipped because we had a black president.
Right. Well, I mean, he wore a tan suit and everybody lost control.
Right.
I'm not. Racism is always number one. It's not, you know, we're not gonna act like it's
first
not.
and foremost.
It's always number one. So we know that. That's why I'm saying about Will, like, bro, you know all of this. like you've done it. Like, you went from the rapper star to one of the actors. Like, he is top of the line. It's not many people that really got where he's at. I mean, outside of like Tom Hanks, he was a comedian in the beginning, and then he became what he is. You know, a lot of people don't even know that. There's certain, people that have done some stuff, some miraculous things, and Will Smith is one of those people. So that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you've been around in this thing for a while, so you know they were gonna come for you as soon as you did that. As soon as you did that slap. So it's that's gonna be the thing, bro. Because they look, it's the clickbait. It's the people want to see this. People want to talk about it. You know, you got people doing podcasts 2 weeks straight talking about this. They ain't missed a day. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Will Smith. It's not. This ain't the dude from Power. And they're like, see, we knew that.
So let me ask you this, because this is an interesting dichotomy for black people, right? Like, okay, so how do we move, right? Because I'm black. I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me. To a certain extent. I mean, there are people that I want to have my respect and everything, but I wear a baseball cap, I wear a t-shirt, I sit on a podcast, talk about politics and moral barometers and shit, right? So some people will be turned off by that, because I ain't sitting up here in a suit or a tie or with a city behind me talking about politics and all this. Or some people gonna think that I'm ignorant. They're gonna immediately view me and be like, who is this dude to think he can talk about politics? And not knowing my background at all, you know what I'm saying? Or thinking that because I don't have
Killer Mike too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Or thinking because I don't have a certain level of education, right? My education is limited, but my knowledge isn't. So like you're gonna sit up there and judge me because you see me my outward appearance, right? So what I'm asking you is, like, how do we move, right? Because we want certain acceptance in certain circles, but also we need, like, I want to carry myself how the fuck I want to carry myself and still want people to view me as a human. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to sit up here and have to be no hoity-toity ass type of motherfucker to get a motherfucker to view me as a human. So that's what I'm saying. The dichotomy is, how do we do that? Because I view everybody, like, I respect, y'all know me. I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to a motherfucker with a left thumb and a left eye missing, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna gain something out of that conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at this person and judging them. You know what I mean? But how do we get people to view us that way? That's why I want to ask you, because I said I'm not for that respectability shit. Like, I understand people are human. Will Smith made a mistake. I don't think it's the end. Me in my mind wouldn't think it's the end of the fucking world for him, or want to cancel Will Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely not the end of the world. But again, anything you do as a black person in this country is going to be magnified. That's just how it is, especially if you're of the caliber of a Will Smith. You know, that's just like okay, somebody sent in the chat something about Jussie Smollett. You see his story is already done, because nobody cares about Jussie Smollett. Even though he's, sister's a prominent actor, all of that, nobody cares about his story anymore because of his level and where he's at. Some people may still talk about it, bring it up, but it's whatever. Will Smith is just a polarizing figure. So, and what he did was just so outside of his like wheelhouse for people that really look at actors as this is what they do in real life and this is who they are in real life, and they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really thought he was just some nice guy.
And it's a difference though, because it's a difference too, because what Will did was out of character. It was a moment. Right. This nigga Jesse came up with a whole scheme. He played us. You know what I'm saying? Like, he tried to gain the support of people over some bullshit. So like, people holding that against him.
No doubt, but I'm just saying, like, just switch it around. Like, if Jesse did, well, I guess it would still go crazy either way. But if, like, Will Smith was lying about somebody attacking him and they found out about it and he had to go to court for it and all that, we would still be watching that every day, all day, because of his level. So I just think it's the focus on, like, in this country, again, they always gonna magnify. It doesn't matter. And that's why I agree with you. Like, you shouldn't really care about having to toe the line or say this or say that in lieu of making it, hopefully I don't embarrass anybody, or hopefully these people over here aren't listening to what I said. It shouldn't be. We should be at that point now. I mean, they just passed a bill. You can wear your hair how you want to. Shit, 10 years ago that wasn't happening.
They just passed that. They just passed that.
Right. And but the crazy thing about that, the crazy thing about it. Now, what y'all gonna do? Like I said, because we always passing bills. We talked about marijuana legislation and things of that. We had literally kids who are traumatized because they had a wrestling match and they got to get they locks cut off because they saying they can't compete with that. When I was in the military, they was telling women they couldn't wear their natural hair. They couldn't wear. They couldn't wear protective hairstyles when I was in the military. They had to have, you know what I'm saying? So women with sisters was walking around trying to wear weaves or wearing their natural hair, but getting it permed. And I'm running 3 miles every 3 days in the military. Like, a perm ain't gonna hold my hair, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just crazy. I know what it is, but to me, like what are we gonna do? What,
I'm not even coming at you. I'll just bring it up again.
Yeah, it's just to justify that. But this country is fucking nuts. But you brought up Juicy Smouye. One thing I would one thing I would like to say about him, it was he deserved everything, all the smoke that he got, because he for fucking lying like that, he deserved all that smoke. So whatever he got,
fuck Juicy Smouye.
Oh God, fuck Juicy Smouye.
He already out. Yeah. He already out. So ain't nothing happening.
He can sing now.
Now his career over. Like
of course.
Absolutely. That nigga gonna be on Lifetime movies, but
he's done.
Will Smith,
y'all gonna catch him on Thursday.
Yeah, Will Smith will be fine.
Hey, Will
Smith
is like too big to fail, like the bailout.
Facts.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm hoping, low key, I'm really hoping that he able to bounce. The Smith family is able to bounce back from this, because he's always seemed like a well-meaning person. You know what I mean?
Of course he is. Yeah. He's still a good dude. He just did some stupid shit. That's all. Facts. It don't change who he is. We still know what Will is as a man for the most part. He's a good dude, but he just got a little out of control, and he's breaking down. He got going through some things.
Well, when we can. This can start another conversation, unless y'all want to be here for another 30 minutes. Because listen, like, we can talk about this, like, right. So what Will Smith is dealing with, and I commend the brother, and a lot of people ain't gonna commend him for this, but I commend Will Smith. He's dealing with okay. So it's two things, right? Number one, his wife. He's been trying to make her happy. The thing that make her happy is being a creative, is being able to act, all this type of stuff. He took a hiatus for about 5 to 6 years so Jada could get her shit off. So we can see her in Gotham, we can see her in Girls Trip, and all these other movies. If y'all not knowing about that, go look it up. He took a hiatus trying to make her happy. Jada Pinkett had been going through mental health issues for the entirety of their marriage. And it's all because the way, and I'm going to say it, and y'all can hate me if y'all want to, but some people don't believe in the patriarchy. And the patriarchy is very important. And the way some of our women are brought up in our community, it's all about strong, self-sufficient women. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but so don't take that as me saying that something is wrong with that. Right. But the thing is now you married to a man, and he's the breadwinner. He's the more popular one. It's a patriarchal society that we live in. Yeah. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just talking about what it is. I'm saying it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and also Jada always struggled, I believe, with the fact that Will Smith is here, and she's somewhere over here.
But the but you're right, and that's exactly
in terms of their careers.
Right, like that's what I'm talking about.
Not her as a wife.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
I think she struggled with that. Like I remember that. I remember this one time. This is a long time ago. I think this was like an Oprah interview or something. And Jada was talking. She was asking them how they came together or something. And Jada said something to the effect of like, because, I was a big being and he was a big being, and we, two big beings came together. And it's just like, come on now, Jada, you did a few good things in terms of your movie career and things of that nature, but this is Will Smith, right? Like Will Smith has countless movies where he showcases acting skills. Your best acting was probably Set It Off. And I'm not coming at that movie. I'm not coming at that movie, but I'm saying Set It Off is not Set It Off is not what just the caliber of movies that Will has been in and just executed in. So like I think she always struggled with that. Like that whole like I'm not him. So now I gotta, I think she was in a rock band at one point. She did a whole bunch of things, to try to get.
A lot of the shit she say do seem passive aggressive, like it's
to
bring them down without blatantly doing it.
Right, but like I'm saying,
shit though, like she showed no remorse,
none whatsoever. And then
she didn't give a damn though.
Right,
she's a bit. But go ahead.
But no, all I'm saying is like I really want to talk about this, and this is the issue that a lot of women have with a lot of the manosphere and all that type of shit. But the thing is, we live in a patriarchal society. The man, if he's successful, is always going to be the breadwinner in society until some shit change, until we get more progressive as a society, right? We already know that. So a lot of that shit is, like I said, jealousy, hating on her husband, and we probably wouldn't even know who you was, like keeping it in the buck. And this ain't no shade to her, but keeping it in the buck, bro. Like she ain't did nothing that groundbreaking. We probably wouldn't even know who this woman was if it wasn't for her husband.
Well, I would because she fine.
But but we wired different. But I'm talking when I say we, I'm sorry, y'all, because I got to justify these things. I'm trying to like tread lightly here because I'm not trying to offend nobody. But I'm just saying it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't think like that as a collective right here. As a black man, I would know who the fuck Jada Pinkett is. Some of these white actors, I don't even know their name. Some of the most super famous white actors, I don't know their name. I know who the fuck Jada Pinkett is.
There wasn't a lot of white people running out to see Set It Off.
Right. So when I say we and that not on no French shit, I'm talking about America, like as a culture, as America as a society. So that's all I'm saying. And
she definitely known as Will Smith white.
Right.
That's
now. More than ever.
Right.
But back in the 90s and all that, people kind of knew stuff, but they didn't know her like that.
We know her from Menace Society, the fine chick from Menace Society. Like
But
I'm saying all the movies she was in, like what was the joint with was that Booty Call? What was that?
She been in a lot of shit. But she been in a lot of like.
But I'm saying them
Woo. You talking about
Woo, like all that shit. Yeah. Like it was all movies that black people love.
Like, right.
White people want. Like you ask white people if they saying Woo, they gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Will Smith.
Will was in Independence Day.
Right, he transcended. He transcended our culture.
20 to 40 million a movie at one point. I think it was like him and Jim Carrey at one point, and then later
he was at 40
actors.
He was at 40.
But bro, he was making he did Wild Wild West and didn't fail from that. Like a lot of people do movies like that, it's over.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. He did a hit song for that movie.
And that's what my point is. So to her mental health, like, and we've seen what she's put Will through over the years. She's been in love with Tupac, in love with August Alsina, and Will Smith has been staying there with this woman dealing with mental health issues. He's been staying.
They had also an open relationship.
Well, do we know that though? That's what I'm saying. We don't know that.
I mean, I hope not, because he's been caught with Margot Robbie and Charlize Theron and all other types of women that he was getting it down with too. So I would hope that at this point you should know something. I mean, if it's not open, then it's clearly he's not keeping it that much.
But here's my thing though, because and this is why. Look, hold on one second, and because y'all haven't been married before, so this is why. Right. No, but
I'm saying that's a shot.
No. But here's the thing. Hold on a second. This is the thing about marriage though, and this is why I commend Will Smith for keeping his black family together. Like, regardless of what the fuck, because I'm pretty sure Will Smith is going off doing what the fuck he want to as well. But we talk about generational wealth on this podcast. We talk about getting past our generational curses. He's done, like, I'm pretty sure Will got a good level of wokeness to him, right? So he's keeping that family unit together, so his children and so his children's children can have a better future. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about what we deem, because we as black people, we like to have this barometer of like, you can't cheat on your spouse or whatever. But he said it on the Red Table Talk. There's nothing you can do that make me divorce you. That is low key. That's commendable. A lot of us is because we know how we are as men. Like, when I say we, I'm talking about this podcast. We like, oh, that shit ain't player. But like, you know what I'm saying? But like, for a bigger cause, like, do y'all understand where I'm coming from?
I get that, and I don't have a problem with him keeping the family together.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like all of this shit was public because y'all talked about it as a result of August doing what he did, right? So you wanted to take control of your story and not let and all of these other, which is what they're doing right now. They're not talking to nobody. They just released a statement and then that was it. But I don't have no problem with
it's
saving.
It's supposed to be a red table talk about this though.
I don't have no. It might. That's what they're saying, but they didn't come out and say it. But we who knows? It probably is going to be one as a result of that. But I don't have no problem with keeping the family together. But again, it's just the way that this all came out. Like I just felt like they was just doing a little too much. That was just me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with keeping the family together, and I love that he's doing that. But clearly they were either in an open marriage or whatever. But
unconventional. Let's just say unconventional.
Just say unconventional. Yeah,
he gonna deal with her fucked up ass, man.
Clearly,
because he deserves.
I don't know who's fucked up more than whoever.
Let me ask you a question.
They both was getting it in.
Let me ask you a question. Is he wrong for loving his black woman who might have some traumas that she's had unhealed
Not at all. I think he should stay with her. But again, I
love her too.
I'm just
Blaze
saying, like,
Alcina, y'all. Blaze Alcina.
Hey man, Jada been low cut for a long time. Okay, matter of fact, she was one of the ones that we loved with the short haircut. So we
you know what? Like I didn't even know she had alopecia. I just thought she cut her shit off.
Me too. I didn't. Yeah, I had no clue. Yeah.
So again, like we didn't
so you
care
know
about
Jada
that.
Blaze wouldn't have said nothing.
I was like, shit, she's still fine. I thought she cut her shit off.
But I'm just saying,
so you know, Jada Blaze wouldn't have said nothing. He wouldn't have told you, bro.
I definitely wouldn't have told. You good?
He could be your silent side.
I understand that we need to protect. I understand that we need to protect our spouses, protect our wives. But like sometimes I think the wives like should have a time where they protect their men. So at least grab the man's leg, like, hey, baby, slow down. She was chilling the entire time waiting for that slap to come. I just like if you care about your man and you like, I think to me, this is just me. I think women see things a little bit different than
Kendall
you
was opening up all type of can of worms. We're gonna never end this episode.
I'm just saying.
But keep going. Keep going.
I think the consequence of Will not going up in there slapping that nigga
would have been a whole other problem.
He looked at her and was like, nah, fuck that.
like I said, that was when he made a reaction though. That's my whole point.
He'd have got home, it'd have been hell to pay.
It should have been something along the lines of her helping him out, because after he do this, it's over. You ain't coming back to this shit.
But listen, though, I really think he chose his wife and his family over his career. I think he knew what was gonna happen. He just said, "Fuck it." At that moment,
did all that damn crying and I'm a vessel.
Like I said, that's hindsight is 2020. I guarantee he wasn't thinking like that in that moment. But
you sure?
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong.
You finna slap Chris Rock.
Why do all that? I mean, if he really knew what he was doing, why do all that crying?
Okay, but hold on, because I want to, because we can argue about this all day long, because everybody gonna see stuff the way they want to see it. Because like I said, we weren't there in real time. We weren't feeling how Will Smith. But Kendall brought up a very good point when he said sometimes that women need to protect their husband. We see it all the time with modern women where they be popping off. And the dude be sitting there not saying nothing. We've seen this we've seen this on countless Instagram videos where the woman might be popping off and get her boyfriend knocked the fuck out. So is it that, or do we really?
Now, what if Chris would have knocked his ass out, right? What if he would have hit him back? Then we would have been having a whole. This is how we act. See what we do, right? Then we would have had the uppity niggas coming right for it. So that's all I'm saying. Like either way, that's why I kind of felt like, hey, Jada, grab the man's leg, grab an ankle, baby, slow down.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's a long walk.
Slow down, baby.
Halfway through the walk, you think
that's all. And again, I ain't coming at Jada. Like, I'm not.
The crying was because let me see if I can save face because I fucked up.
Of course, he's an actor. That's why I didn't believe all that damn crying.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, come on, fam, stop. You ain't that sad. But you was mad. You was angry.
No,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't think it was sad. I just think, bro, see this, and this is another hyper masculine.
I say you ain't that sad.
Right? No, this is a hyper masculine thing that we do, because like we see somebody crying and we all automatically assume it was sad. Emotional, yeah. Probably pissed off, like. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
but don't say you're a vessel.
I think it was a lot of emotions going through him right now, because he finally achieved, he reached the pinnacle where he thought he wanted to be. He got the Oscar.
But
bunch of fuck shit happened. Now he like, damn, it's everything.
I ain't giving my Oscar back. Y'all gonna have to come take that from me.
But listen,
You ain't got to get that shit back.
Hey, sisters, I just wanted to shout this out to y'all right quick.
Yeah.
Now y'all see what we have to deal with. Like y'all see, we can't even, like on this podcast, we have to deal with this as black men when it comes to some of y'all attitudes. When it comes to, you know what I'm saying, the way y'all carry yourselves, we have to deal with this as black men. Like, cause we gotta do something. We gotta say something, do something, or handle it in a certain manner. Like, you know what I'm saying. So sometimes y'all might have to check yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like, or you know what I'm saying. Y'all think like we men, whenever something happens, we contemplate everything in the moment. Quickly. Sometimes we might make the wrong decision, but we contemplate it. I spoke to y'all about what happened when a cat. We in Las Vegas, Nevada. My homeboy wife butt get grabbed. He knocked the dude out. I didn't tell y'all what happened after that. When we all got into a fight immediately outside of the nightclub because we was protecting our homeboy's wife's ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even get into that. But like that, like I said, like you know, sometimes like just bring the energy down a little bit, bring the disrespect down a little bit. And then we ain't putting it all on y'all because we know he was wrong. We saying he wrong. You know what I'm saying? But y'all put us in predicaments like that. You feel me?
Hey,
like,
that's kind of how I
hold on, wait.
everybody like.
I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just quantify something. This statement: I am drinking Wilford Reserve whiskey, so if I'm making an ass of myself, please, friends, pull my coattail. I just want to make sure. Okay, we good. Okay, I just want to quantify that. But go ahead.
No, I'm saying like, that's how I am with everybody though. My women friends and my men friends. Like, whatever you do, I'm gonna ride with you. But I'm gonna tell you like man, that was bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, at the time, we gone.
We gone. Yeah.
Nah, listen, y'all talking to the women. I'm gonna talk to the men. A motherfucker can't even breathe on me wrong, and you cut off. Find you a good woman. You ain't got to deal with that bullshit.
Breathe on my nigga.
All right.
Listen. You made me say the N. You made me say the N word, my brother, because you are the statement you just say that one more time for say it two more times for the people in the back.
Find you a good woman. That's what you do. You ain't got to deal with all that disrespectful shit. Straight up. Fuck all that. I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. I get all of that, but like again, it's just about how you take care of the situation. If you check all that shit in, none of that takes place. I ain't never been with no woman that got out of pocket. I ain't never been with nobody, and because I don't get angry. So if I get to the point where I'm saying something to you and I'm feeling some kind of, you clearly know I'm in a mode.
Kendall. But okay, so we're gonna talk about the family element. You know what I'm saying, of the black community. But tell our listeners the reason why you have never had to deal with a woman who got out of pocket, or the reasons why you made smarter decisions to deal with a woman who hadn't got out of pocket.
Again, like if I'm with somebody who can't understand tact, then they already know it's not going to last, right? You have to set the precedence yourself. You don't just let a woman just dictate things. You have to jump in. It's like a double dutch, nigga. You can't just jump in all messed up. You gotta slide up in there. You gotta say something. You can't just let your girl get out of pocket. Because I can't be with no woman that's weak. I can't be with no woman that don't say nothing. I'm gonna need you to defend me when it's time, but I'm not gonna be with nobody that just out of pocket and you can't understand the level of tact. That's just not gonna be me.
I think me and Rome more so going about is the disrespect. Because if you can conjure up the thought of disrespecting me, I don't need to fuck with you anymore. I ain't finna teach you, bro. I'm 37. I ain't doing no teaching no more. Like, I'm just not, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
And I don't think it's
because like me and my woman argue, but she ain't disrespecting me. You get what I'm saying? Like, you ain't. That's what I'm talking about. That disrespect. I think that's what Ron was touching on about.
Disrespect towards us. I thought we was talking about how they talk to other people and then leave it for us to
disrespect, bro. Disrespect.
Well, I guess that could be disrespect to you in a way.
Yeah, because like low key, like respect me enough as a man to handle the situation. If somebody disrespect me and if you feel like I didn't handle it right, then we can discuss it. Because
why would you put your man in a position to where he gonna have to fight this dude? We out on a date.
And let me explain something to women too.
And the dude not even disrespecting you though. You know what I mean? Like, just like, come on.
Let me explain something to women too. Where we from, a lot of dudes ain't fighting. Just an FYI. Like
I'm
You getting
not.
popped.
like you getting popped.
Absolutely.
So like a lot of dudes ain't fighting. So
Absolutely.
if like you got to know who you're dealing with. Know your personnel. That's what we like to say amongst each other. Know your personnel. Like real talk, because like you put us in a predicament. A lot of times we might be chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we might be chilling because we know what we gonna have to do to a person. Now, if you ready for your man to go
or what could potentially be done to us. So,
exactly.
Shit escalate quickly.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to say something to the wrong person. Then your boyfriend got to step in. Now, dude don't care about you. His pride hurt now.
Yeah.
Rome 6'7", bro. If somebody that's 6 foot is really like jacking off at him, bro, he's strapped. Leave him alone, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, bro. Like, it just is what it is, man.
Yeah, ain't
like,
nobody talking reckless to me for no reason. And
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
and then also, bro, this we talked about this before on this podcast. Like, women don't really have to deal with the underlying level of threat, right? So like men, we handle each other with respect for the most part when we step into a room, because we know that we might have to, like, we sizing up everybody in the room when we come in there. You know what I'm saying? So we handle each other. We know what's the underlying level of threat. Like short dudes, we know that they normally got this Napoleon complex about themselves, and they might spaz off. You know what I'm saying? And we know that a big dude, like, I ain't really trying to tumble with this mug. You know what I'm saying? So we sizing up everybody in the room when we come into a situation. And women, y'all don't have to deal with that. So you have to trust your man sometimes when it comes to these situations. And like I said, where we from, like I said, it ain't too many people fighting.
Nah, it's shots fired.
Nah.
Yeah. Blaze, you got a pretty good size to you too. How you handling this situation? Let our listeners. Right, that's what I'm saying. So like,
I had a fight since I was a teenager.
Right. So just to let y'all know, everybody ain't out here playing in these streets. So don't put your man in a predicament.
Just so y'all know, he is legally able to carry a firearm. And
no, I'm not. I'm not.
Stop telling Blades. No,
statute of limitations.
Blades, listen.
Statute of limitations.
You are legally.
You know,
don't lie to these fans. I'm not, but I'm gonna shoot.
Ain't no such thing about statute of limitations.
I'm gonna defend us both, and we out of there.
Yeah. So, but anyway, man, it was.
Don't tell on me though.
Yeah. Good conversation, though, bro. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, once again, Jesus Christ, bro. I don't even know if we came to a conclusion on, but like I said, one thing we did, back to a point we were talking about earlier, I just want us to be moved to respect people and
protect each other.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, protect each other in relationships. And also, like I said, like when it comes to the blackness, man, like we gotta have to, we probably would never be moved to get white people to see us as equal or see us as, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, me with the baseball cap as a well-meaning citizen, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep pushing these images out there. We're gonna keep talking about the stories we talk about. And man, we appreciate y'all. Every last one of y'all for tuning in, chiming in, being a part of the conversation. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all. And like I said, subscribe, share this podcast with anybody, man. We really hope y'all enjoyed it. It was entertained and informed. Don't forget to support our good brother Nurse Madia Be Clear. Follow him on Instagram at BeClearH2O.
Definitely.
Yeah, because
Be Clear.
Yeah, that brother's on a mission, and we are all here to support him.
Sir.
So.
And Kendall gonna grow his mustache back, so y'all don't trip.
Yes.
Yeah, don't trip.
Real quick, too. Lisa said you look like Super Mario, though.
All right.
Without your mustache.
Mario has a mustache?
Yeah, he does. I think Lisa's drunk.
Lisa, you about to get your ass ribbed, but okay, I'm a text rib you. I won't rib you
on a public platform. Hey man, but listen, man, we really appreciate y'all. Anybody else got anything else to add? Any church announcements besides grabbing the merch? Because I didn't say that.
Church announcements are hilarious.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Yes, go Bucks. Luka, I hate you.
I think the
yes.
I think the Grammys on right now too. We're gonna have to see if Kanye West coons it out and performs.
Man, fuck the Grammys if Ye ain't on there.
Hopefully, never mind.
They was so worried about Ye, and then Will Smith get up there and slap niggas, man. That shit crazy.
Super crazy.
Ye wasn't gonna slap nobody.
No, Ye wasn't gonna slap nobody. He might have said some shit, but he wasn't gonna slap nobody.
Yeah, he gonna say some shit though.
Yeah.
He was gonna say George Bush doesn't like black people again.
Or what if he said Joe Biden? That would have been even more funny.
He probably would say that.
They both facts. Yeah. They both facts.
And he does it.
They both facts, Blaze.
That is a fact.
Hey,
I agree.
I think you got a point there, bro. I think you got a very valid point about Joe Biden not liking black people. Oh man, but anyway, bro, listen, man, we appreciate.
Didn't he tell us we ain't black if we don't vote for him?
Yep, that's what he
Right.
told us.
Yeah.
We ain't black if we don't vote for him.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's I about to say though? Okay,
I wonder if he was on Epstein. Let me be quiet. Go ahead.
Hey man, but listen, for all y'all as well, like I said, we do got merch. If y'all like what we're doing, y'all can support us as well. But support Be Clear first before y'all spend a dime on us. And then also, when I do them, you know, y'all got bread. Some of y'all, gas prices high, but y'all got bread. Anyway, so go ahead and click the link in the description. We got merch there as well. We got a slew of things that y'all might enjoy. All right, Trey. You ain't poor, bro. Don't say that. Don't put that on yourself. Positive vibes. No, positive vibes. Man, listen. If my brothers don't got nothing else to add, man, we about to get up out of here.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Drink Be Clear.
Drink Be Clear. And we will see y'all on Thursday with another episode. Another episode.
Told Lisa to trim hers as well.
Hey, stop, dog. We're not gonna do that on live. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We will see y'all on Thursday evening with another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. Dog, I hate y'all so much. Peace. Y'all are absolutely nuts, dog.